Hello and welcome back. This is part 2, and this truly is a restoration of these HR2510 Uniden President. As we can see, I'm down to 2 from the 3 I showed you in part 1. Part 1 had some serious damage with the main board, so I totally stripped that and am parting that unit out. I've sold a few things on eBay already, and I'm hanging on to a few others. I'm not sure whether or not I'll need them yet. So my goal here is to get one that is functional, and I have the chosen one showing here now. So before I go to that, I've got this second one here left, and we can see that the front is pretty damaged. The LCD is a little bit of discoloration right there. Don't think that'll affect anything, but I still may need something out of this one. I don't think I'll be able to get that one. I looked deeper into that one and I found a burnt trace on the motherboard, and so definitely something's gone bad with that. I don't think I'll get that one functional, but I will focus my efforts on this particular unit here. So I do have one that is operational, and there is some hope for it. Let me get you up to speed as to what I've done so far. I have had to replace a few items on this one to get it to this stage. So the stage that I have now is that I have the RX is operational. And we can hear that I do have my signal generator input to it. So the receive is functioning on this unit, although the TX is not. So I have to do some troubleshooting to repair that portion. Looking at the LCD display, one of the things I have done is that I removed the orange LED lamp and I put in an LED. I'm just trying to reach, where is it? Hang on. Sorry, I didn't prepare for this properly. So I did pull this out. This is the original lamp. Has a orange grommet on it. And of course nobody likes the orange background on it. I didn't find it bad, but I've got a white LED in there now. And the one I have in there now is just not bright enough, not wide enough. So I do have some LEDs coming that are 10 times the brightness, and they will be 180 degrees wide on its dispersion. So I think that having that kind of LED for a backlit of an LCD should just make this look a lot better. So it's functional right now, but it can be a lot better. And I'm not sure if my camera's picking it up, making it worse than than it should be, but I think if I get it off at an angle here you might be able to see it. But I think I like the white background for LCD. So on part 3 you will see I should have that new LED in there and have that one. I do have a microphone. This is brand new. I picked up from some thrift store here. Brand new power mic, and it was wired for your standard 5-pin Uniden. But of course, if you don't know already, this is not a standard 5-pin Uniden. So you have to wire it up a couple wires in there a little bit differently, and then you can get this guy to function. So I do have a microphone that's operational. Let's see, what else have I done? I think that's basically we're up to speed. I have to do some troubleshooting on the TX part of it. I do have a schematic on a 8.5 by 11 sheet here. And I basically need a magnifying glass really to read this. So it is very small and it's not very high quality, but it's all I've got. So basically I'm looking here at the TX section. So I'm going to have to troubleshoot the TX and find out why it's not functional. So I am now set up for a TX demo. Let's just see what's happening with this radio. Let's just go to AM, microphone hooked up. So things look good on the front of the radio, but on the meter, power output meter, I'm not getting anything there. So this is AM. Go to sideband. Testing 1 2 3 4 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. So that looks good there. So it looks like maybe just the final output is driver is gone. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 testing. Yeah, looking on the meter really closely there on the dummy load, I can see there's a little bit of needle movement, barely perceptible. So I'm gonna guess right now it's probably a final transistor or driver. Let's dig in. So there's a couple of output transistors right there that one of them may be suspect. Let the probing begin. Study time. We have to do a little planning here on figuring out where we're going to probe. So I've blown up the RF section here on the schematic. And starting at the, I guess the closest end to the antenna, here's the driver, MRF457. Or final, let's say. Driver 166. Pre-driver 1973. I guess we can call that another pre-driver. And then the audio amp IC here. So somewhere in this section here, you can see I've done a few voltage checks already. So I'm getting my 14 volts on the collector of these two guys here. I have not checked out the transistors yet because I can't do that in circuit, and I'm not in any rush to do any desoldering of those yet. They look okay. This one here, measured some voltages. Just DC wise, TX. And here I've measured some voltages as well, and I've also used a RF probe that I just picked up from Ralph in Montana. Just testing how that works. So I have measured some RF input, RF output, but I'm not getting RF input here. So possibly I may have found a section here which I can drill in on. So this board layout here, diagram, was rather handy to find components. And everything here that I'm looking at is in this section up here. So driver, Q132, or keep getting that mixed up. 133 is the driver, there's the final, and 124 and 134, and the IC6. So everything here comes in here and goes out there. So looking at the actual layout here, I see 6 transistor there, and then these 2 here. And show you my RF probe that I mentioned that I got from Ralph, and actually it's handy. It's workable. He's selling these on eBay for $10. So just hooking that up to my DMM in there. So I think I'm going to be zooming in on this section here. And what do we got in there? We just have some inductors, capacitors. Could one of these capacitors be open? Let me check further. Okay, this is going to be a wrap for part 2. The YouTube upload times and file size gets to be a little excessive, so we'll shut her down here for now, and you'll have to join me back for part 3 and find out how things turn out. Hope to see you then. Bye-bye.